is different, the scope is different, the complexity is exponential. So if you think about it then, let's go back to our triangle. 50% of the land is considered Burgundy, Chardonnay, or Pinot Noir. And think of us as a slope, because everything is on this southeast-east facing slope from about 150 meters to about 250 meters on the slope, plus or minus. And the soil is primarily limestone. It's an ancient seabed. A couple different types of limestone, some very dense and others more coral-like. But that's our primary soil types. And so that's the first thing important. The second thing is on this slope, if you think of that Burgundy, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir, and think of the Appalachian system as a sandwich. On that slope, the outer portions on that slope are your Burgundy, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noirs at the bottom, and your Burgundy, Chardonnays, and Pinot Noir at the top. Basically, down at the bottom, it's humid, more difficult to grow grapes. At the top, the soil is very, very meager, and it's cooler. So those are kind of the most difficult places to grow, the most marginal places. So that's why they tend to be the less interesting wines. Then as you get closer to the middle, you have the village wines. Go back to our triangle. That's about 30% of the land. And on the label, it will have the name of the village, the town, or the commune, the community. Vin Romanée, Meursault, Pouligny-Montrachet, Beaune. And that's a designation, a geographic designation for certain vineyards. And you'll see the name of the town on it. Again, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, doesn't matter. The next, as you get closer to that mid-slope, are the Premier Cru vineyards, about 18% of the land. And there we'll have the name of the town, a specific vineyard, and a 1 ER, Premier Cru. And again, we're getting right kind of the middle, the meat in the sandwich. And then finally, 1%. Think about on the back of the pyramid, or you'll see on the dollar, that little top bit, that's about 1% of the land is Grand Cru, land. The problem in this is that you've got individual estates, small estates, these family estates we were talking about, own parcels, Grand Cru, Premier Cru, Village, Bourgogne, all throughout this mosaic. And that's what makes it difficult, because you could have someone who owns a lot of Grand Cru, but is a lousy farmer and a lousy winemaker, and you don't know that wine is bad. It could be Mr. DuPont, and his cousin he's Jean DuPont, his cousin is Steve DuPont, and his daughter is Annie DuPont. Who do you buy? And this is the conundrum. So you need a good importer, a good retailer to help you do that triage to find the good producers. And if you think it through, then, I am better off buying a lesser land wine, a Bourgogne or a village wine from a great winemaker than a bad wine from a great vineyard from a bad winemaker. And this is what drives people crazy, because within that context, there's never a lot of wine for anybody. And then the other example, before I bore everybody to death, one of the vineyards everybody thinks about is Clos Vougeot. It's 50 hectares. All right, it's about the size of, let's say, a Chateau Margaux or a Chateau Latour, which is about 45 hectares in Bordeaux. There you have one owner in Chateau Latour. In this case, with Clos Vougeot, there are 80 to 90 different owners and maybe 125, 150 different examples. I make 75 to 100 cases a year in a good year. That's the problem. Multiple types, multiple examples of the same vineyard. Gets obscured, gets lost because